The last class we discussed predefined exceptions and see now defined exceptions. Okay, so same thing, same requirement. Okay, so I just want to write one simple program with some logical errors. So then we'll see what exactly non-predefined exceptions is, how it is working, we'll see. Okay, so I want to get 3 columns of information, same requirement. So I need 3 variables. I'm declaring 3 variables. We employee number, number type, VE name, varchar2 type, size of something, then V shall number. Okay. Now in the begin section, I'm just writing my select statement to get that 3 columns of information. Okay. Select employee number, employee name, salary into those 3 variables in the same sequence. V employee number, VE name, V shall. It's from EMP table. Okay, so I'm not using any cursor. So definitely what we have to do, we have to get only one record. So that's why as of now, I'm just writing where condition here to get the data for a particular employee number 7902. Okay, so thereafter, of course, I want to print this data. So I'm using dbms output put underscore line, and I'm printing all those 3 variables here: V employee number, VE name, V shall. Is done. Okay, finally, end of the program. Let me enable this dbms output. Okay, 1 second, start. Successfully completed, but to see this output, I should enable it, but it's got stuck. 1 second. It's enabled now. Fine. So I'm just executing the same program. It's printing the data. Fine. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I just want to raise an error. Yesterday we discussed about no data found, right? So like that, I'm just trying to get one error here. Okay. So what I'm trying to do, there is a variable VE name. Okay. So this VE name I'm using here to store employee name. Employee's name is nothing but character. Okay. So that's why I define the data type for that variable as varchar2. But now what I'm doing, just for example, imagine in real time also it happened in the same. For example, I defined a variable with a number type. Okay, and I'm trying to store character data into that variable. So definitely it will not accept. Okay, so then what will happen? Definitely it will throw the error. Let's see how it is going to throw the error. I'm executing. Okay, let's see this error. Numeric value error. Okay, character to number conversion error. Okay, so what is this error? Numeric value error, character to number conversion error. It's telling clearly, okay, if you know these PLSQL data types or SQL data types, you can easily understand what is meaning by this character to number conversion error. But so really I want to make it meaningful. So who can, like, everyone need to read it properly. Everyone need to understand easily. Okay, so then what I'm going to do. So this is already defined by Oracle. right? So that's why error is coming. I am not throwing this error. So whenever the situation came, whenever something is wrong happening while execution, this error came. Okay, so this is the error message, numeric or value error, character to number conversion error. And what is the number for this error? It is 6502. Okay, 6502. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use this error code and combining with my error message. Okay, yesterday what I did, I used same exception handler, whatever is available, same error message I'm just displaying. But what I want to display now, I want to exception. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use something new called as pragma exception init. Okay, so what is this pragma? We'll discuss. Pragma exception init. And now in this I'm writing that error number, and like a no data form, I just want to write one simple error message kind of or exception handler, okay, which I use. So what I'm doing now, so what is happening actually here, data type is wrong, so I'll write the same here, sorry, okay, I'll write the same here, data type, okay, mismatch. Okay, so this is my error, and so I want to link this with 6502, right? So I'm just taking that 6502 number. Okay, so I'm taking this number from here. Okay, 6502, and I'm just linking with that. This is my own, and then linking with this. Okay, so first of all, what is this data type mismatch? Okay, so this is my exception. So first I just need to define this. Okay, so sorry, two times it is data type mismatch. And what is the data type for it? Like a number varchar 2. So what I'm going to do, I'm just writing exception. I'm telling to the Oracle engine, this is my exception. Okay, and thereafter using this pragma, I am asking Oracle engine, use this data type mismatch whenever this 6502 error will come. Understood? Okay, so I am asking Oracle engine, whenever this error will come, so then use this data type mismatch. When that error, which error that is 6502. Okay, so that's why I'm writing here error number followed by this data type mismatch, whatever the exception I defined. Okay, let's see what will happen. First, I'm executing till here. Let me clear it. Okay, I'm executing. Okay, let's go up. Anything changed? No, still it is throwing same 6502 error. Okay, no, nothing is different. So what we have to do now, in the down, I'm writing exception black. Okay, and here I'm writing when. What is the exception I defined here? What is the handler I defined on the top? Let me take that. So this is my handler, right? So I'm taking when data type mismatch, then you can do anything. So I just want to print a message. So I'm just using this dbms output dot put underscore line, and I'm printing a message here. Data types are mismatched. That's it. Okay, let me clear this. I'm executing this again. Now it's successfully completed, and you can see these data types are mismatched. Okay, the same thing, nothing I'm doing. Okay, same like a no data form error only. But what I'm doing here, So I'm just increasing the readability of predefined error. Okay. So what is the purpose of this non-predefined exceptions? Just to increase the readability of predefined error messages. Okay. So to do that, what I'm doing, first I'm defining my own exception. Okay. So whatever the name you want to write, that name followed by this exception type. And then I'm using this pragma exception init to link my own exception with predefined exception. So thereafter, in the exception block, whatever the exception I define, I am using it here in the handler. When data type mismatch, then whatever the action you want to perform that. Okay, so very simple. One second. Let me open another document. It's not saving. Okay. So we are actually discussing here about pragma. So what is this pragma? Pragma is nothing but a compiler directory. Okay, we discussed yesterday. So when exceptions will come at compilation time and execution time. So means every time first it will do compilation and then it will go for the execution. So at that compilation time, so there will be some person, for example, who will monitor everything, who will administrate everything that compilations. So that person I'm asking, just imagine that person name is Pragma. Okay, so I'm asking Pragma. So what is this Pragma duty? Is a compiler directory. Okay, it's a compiler directory. It will pass instructions to the compiler. Okay, it will pass instructions to the compiler when our compiler is compiling the code. Okay, so who is compiling the code? Compiler is compiling. So while compiler is compiling the code, how to compile, what to do? So that instruction who is passing, that director is passing. Okay, so that compiler boss is passing, that boss name is Pragma. Okay, so I'm just repeating again, what is Pragma? Pragma is a compiler directory. It will pass instruction compiler when our compiler is compiling the code. So in our example, so I'm using one of the Pragma type exception init. Okay, I'm initializing exception. How I'm initializing the exception? So this I'm defining first my own exception here, and here I'm initializing that exception with predefined error number. So that what will happen? So when our compiler is compiling the code, so this pragma will ask that compiler just use this exception whenever this error is coming. Okay, it will pass instructions to the compiler like use this exception whenever this 6502 error is coming. Okay, so that is the use of exception init. Okay, just to initialize the exception. Okay, but who is doing this initializing? That is by using pragma. Okay, this exception init is nothing but one of the pragma type. So like that, we have few more pragma types. We'll discuss them while discussing that specific chapter wherever it is useful. But as of now, remember what is pragma. Okay, so let me write it here. Let me copy this program to here. So what is the use of this exception in it? It is used to with the predefined exception. It is used to initialize the our exception with the predefined exception. Okay. So what is the use of non-predefined exceptions? It is just to increase the readability of predefined exceptions. The readability of predefined exceptions. Okay. So also we are using a concept here called pragma, right? So what is that pragma? Pragma is nothing but a compiler directory, right? So let's write this. And in some interviews, you may face a question also, what is pragma? Okay. So simple, pragma is nothing but a compiler directory. Okay. So I'm writing here, what is pragma? Pragma is a compiler directory which will pass instructions to the compiler when our compiler is compiling the code. Okay, so there we have some types of pragmas. The one is exception init. What is the purpose of it? We already discussed. It is used to link our own exception with the predefined exception. Okay, so what it will do? It is used to link our own exception with the predefined exception. Okay, and the next one is, okay, so how to link this with the predefined exception? Simple. You just use pragma. Every time you have to use pragma space and use that to type. What is that pragma type I'm using? Exe exception init, initializing the exception. Okay, so first write your exception. Okay, exception name, comma, error number. That's it. So that it will initialize the exception. So this is about exception init. So after exception init, one second. So after exception init, so there is another one, autonomous transaction and serially reusable restrict reference. We'll discuss all these things later, wherever it will work. Okay, so as of now, it's fine. We'll just go back to this non-predefined exceptions. Okay, so now there is nothing about these non-predefined exceptions, only to increase the readability of our exceptions. So we'll say now user defined exceptions. So some cases we don't have exceptions, mean like we don't have predefined exceptions, for example. Okay, so for example, if you write any update, delete, insert statement, and if that is failing to update, for example, 0 rows are updated, that is not an error. Okay, if you are deleting something, 0 rows deleted, that's not an error. Okay, because in Oracle point of view, it's not an error, but I just want to raise an error whenever it is not updating anything. Okay, first we'll see by writing small update statement or delete statement, okay, whether it is successfully completing or not, we'll check first. So I'm writing update statement, emp set salary is equal to, let me update 5,000. Okay, not to everyone, let us update it to where employee number is equal to, I'm writing an employee number which is already existed, right, 1002, end of the program. Nothing I'm doing, okay, just end of the program. I'm executing. Okay, successfully completed, but you can't see any message in case of PLSQL. We know this already. It will simply show this message successfully completed, but don't know exactly it is updated or not. Then what you have to do? You can use cursor attributes. Okay, how many rows updated? To just to know how many rows updated, you can use the cursor attribute. If SQL percentile found or not found anything. Okay, if SQL percentile found means that will return only SQL percentile found, then I just want to print the count. dbms output dot put underscore line. I just want to print the message like number of rows updated, concatenated with, I'm using another attribute here, row count, to count the rows. Okay, it will be printed only whenever something is updated, but if nothing is updated, then so then also I want to print something, so I'm using SQL percentile not found, then not found, then same thing, end of the program. Okay, let me clear these successfully completed messages and I'm executing it. Control enter. It's taking little time today, so somewhere semicolon is missing or something is missing. If was substituted. Okay, end of the if statement. No one is telling nothing. Simply open the laptops or mobile and somewhere roaming. I think no one is in front of the screen also. Fine. I'm just clearing this output, executing this again. PLSQL procedure successfully completed and it is printing number of rows updated 1. So it's nothing but coming from first if statement, percentile found. Okay, that's good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give a different number 1003, executing the same. Let's see, successfully completed and you can see this 0 rows updated. Okay, so means it is not throwing any error even if it is not updating also. Okay, so what I have to do now, if it is not updating anything, I have to raise my own exception. because this is fine in case of Oracle. So Oracle point of view, this is not an error, but in my point of view, I want to treat this as an error. So what I can do then, I have to define my own exception. Okay, you know already how to define the exception. Just now in the last program, we defined data type mismatch. The same way, we can define our own exception. And additionally, we have to raise our own exception. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go to this declare black. And here I'm writing, this is related to update. So I'm writing update underscore failed. Which type it is? Exception. Same like data type mismatch, how I written, same way I written. But I'm not going to use any pragma and all here because I just want to define my exception. I want to raise it in the specific case. So now update failed exception is defined. Let me copy it. And in the down, what I have to do? Whenever nothing is updating, then I have to raise this exception. That's it, right? Whenever 0 rows are updating or nothing is affecting, nothing updating, then I have to raise this exception. So there is already this thing, percentile not found. It will be returning true whenever nothing is found or nothing is updated. So then it is going inside and printing this message. Now what I want to do? Additionally, I want to raise my exception also. Update failed. Okay, to raise this exception, we have to use a keyword here. 1 second. So the keyword is just rise. Okay, just use rise keyword followed by update failed. That's it. Okay, end of the if statement, end of the program, same. So now I'm just executing this. Let me clear this before and I'll execute this. Control enter. Now you can see it was not an error in last case, but now it is throwing an error. What is the error? You can see unhandled user defined exception. You can read this message, unhandled user defined exception is clearly telling it's not my exception. It is user defined exception. So that's why it is unhandled user defined exception. Okay, and you can see this error number and all is coming automatically. It come down. So what you have to do now? Error is coming, and even of course I'm just printing for our purpose this message number of rows updated 0 here. So thereafter it is rising. If you do this before, what will happen? First it will rise and it will just come out, right? So what I want to do now, till this it is fine. I'm raising my own exception. If you want to handle this exception, you can use again handler. Okay, you use exception black. In exception black, use this handler so that it will work. So what I'm doing now in the exception block, I'm writing when what is my exception handler? This one, update file. When update file, then do something. Okay, so I'm printing dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. Okay, so here you can print anything. So I just want to write a message here, update statement failed to affect the rows. Update statement failed to the rows. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are just writing update statement to update something. Okay, but in case of Oracle, it is not an error. Oracle point of view, it's not an error. But if it is not updating anything, I want to raise my own exception. Okay, so that's why what I'm doing, I'm defining my exception in the declare block, and in begin block, whenever it is not updating anything, I'm raising my exception. Okay, and I am only handling that exception. I am only raising that exception. Error is coming, and if error comes, I am only handling that exception. Okay, like this. Let's see now. I'm clearing this and executing. Successfully completed, and number of rows updated 0. The message is coming from begin block, and then from exception block it is printing this. Okay, so what is the purpose of this user defined exceptions now? So whenever we don't have any predefined exceptions and you want to raise your own exception, then you can define your own exception and you can raise it using raise keyword. How can we raise our own exceptions? Using raise keyword. Okay, so now the next thing is raise application error. So what's this raise application error and how it will work? We'll see now. Same thing, same program we'll see. Okay, so we are already raising our own exception, right? And also we are handling that exception. Okay, we are handling that exception here. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to write raise application error. Okay, so both are same kind of. Let's see how it is going to be. Okay, just I'm writing raise. Okay, I just took something, raise application error, and followed by, you just need to write one number. I will tell you what is this number, and followed by the message what you want to show. Okay, I'm writing here update statement failed. So this is my message, semicolon, done. Okay, so let me execute this program and we'll see how it is going to work. Okay, you can see update number of rows updated 0 is coming, and it is getting handled by update field handler, and you can see this message also. Also, what is happening? This is error number 20,000 followed by, and message is there update statement failed. Like this error will come only when the error is coming through Oracle. Whenever it is a Oracle defined error, then only the message will come like this. Error message will come like this. But if you want to throw your message, your error message, like a predefined error message, like a predefined exception, so then you can use this raise application error so that it will display your exception same like a predefined exception. Okay, so like this error report, like this will come only in case of predefined exceptions, right? As of now we saw that. Okay, but if you want to print your own exception also in the same way, like a predefined exception only, so then instead of using the raise keyword, use this raise application error. Okay, so when you use this raise application error, it will just print like a predefined message. So then what about this? This is just like a number. So for every error, there is a number, right? So that is the number. So I am using here 20,000, right? So like that, let me try with the 30,000. Okay, let's see what will happen. What happened? Error number argument is out of range, and it is telling action here and the down. What is that? Use an error number in the range of this. Okay, so what does that mean? You have to use, okay, you have to use that error number only in between of this range, minus 20,000 starting to 20,999. In between any number you can use. Okay, in between any number you can use here. For example, I just want to use this last number only. It will work. Okay, in between any number you can use there as a error number, and you can write any message here meaningfully, so that it will display your own exception like a predefined exception with this number followed by this message. Okay, let's execute it again. Now you can see this 20,999 and followed by this message. Clear? Okay, so what is the use of rise application error? Rise application error will print your own exception like a predefined exception like this. Okay, so for that we have to write error number first, and this error number range is minus 20,000 to 20,999. In between any of the number you can use. Followed by that, you can write the message which is meaningfully for your requirement. That's it. Okay. Whenever this rise application error is executed, so thereafter, if anything is there also, no use. Means it will stop execution there itself. Okay, it will not continue. Same like a predefined exception. So whenever exception will come in case of predefined error, it will stop the program there itself. In the same way here also, whenever it is touching this point, rise application error, whenever this is getting executed, so there it is the last statement. If we have some other additional statements also, some executable statements also after that, that is not going to be executed. Okay, so to check that, we'll just see is really like that or not. We'll just check now. We'll write some another statements after that and we'll check. Okay, so what I want to do, I just want to print a message here. Okay, after rise application error message, this just I want to print. Okay, so I'm just clearing all these outputs and executing this again. My intention is here, I just want to check whether that last message is going to be printed or not. Okay, I'm executing. You can see now it is displaying your exception like a predefined exception. Okay, and from the exception block it is printing good handling, and thereafter it is also showing this update statement failed to affect the rows is nothing but from the exception block. And if you go down, there is nothing. It is not printing that message after rise application error message. Whatever I want to print here, this message is not getting printed. Okay, so that's what meaning by after this whatever is getting executed, sorry, after this whatever you return, that is not going to be executed. This is going to be last of your program. Okay, so before this there is another DBMS output, right? This one that is printing, but only this is not getting printed, means this will be the last statement when it is getting executed. Okay, let me write here comment. As it's after rise application error. Okay, let it be there. It's fine. Any confusion there? Okay. If there is no confusion, we'll see one more last thing here about this rise application error. Okay, so nothing but what is the difference between DBMS output line and rise application error in case of exceptions? Okay, we already discussed what we discussed. If you write DBMS output dot put line like this, okay, so you're just printing the message as it is like a text, right? You can see this output here. It is just printing like a text. However, you return the same way, it is just printing. Okay, but if you use rise application error, what will happen? It will print your exception message like a predefined message. So how it is printing here? Like this, it will print like a predefined message. That is the one difference. And the second thing is, after dbms output dot put line, you can write n number of statements, no problem. It will continue to execute them. But after rise application error, if you have anything also, then it's not going to be executed. Okay, so once rise application error is executed, it is just going to rise the error and it is going to stop the program there itself. Okay, so some interviews you may get a question, what is the difference between dbms output dot put line and rise application error in case of exceptions? Simple. So the first thing is dbms output will print the error message like a normal text, but rise application error will print error message like a predefined error. Okay, this is one difference. And followed by the second thing is dbms output will continue, see, not dbms, okay. After execution of dbms output, if any statements there, it will, if any statements there, then it will continue to execute them. Means that is, it will not stop the program. Okay, it will just continue. It will print the message and it will just continue to execute another statement. Okay, but rise application error will not continue execute another statements after rise application error. Okay, so any questions till now, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just wind up the session for today and we'll meet again by tomorrow. And we'll continue with another important chapter, procedures. Okay, after procedures, we'll continue functions, packages. So another 3 days, we'll be completing these 3 important things. Okay, so 4 days we'll be completing all these 4 things: procedures, functions, packages, triggers.